Did you know that the best course of action for someone who's still drinking alcoholically, or as they say in 12-step programs, for someone who's still in their cups, if they aren't ready to stop drinking yet, which means if they haven't suffered enough, is to let them continue to drink and encourage them not to come to AA meetings. Sounds sort of harsh, doesn't it? Well, it's proven to be the most effective and compassionate approach to the recovery process. But why? Getting people help when they're in bad shape seems both intuitive and like the right thing to do. Because people are going to drink, use, and act out, whether it's addictively or not, anyways, right? People are just going to do whatever they want to do based on what's happening inside of them. If for some reason you need evidence of that, just look at the life of every person you know. Now, let's transpose this letting people drink until they've suffered enough and hit bottom to the drug of the 21st century, which is letting people think until they've suffered enough and hit bottom. I say the 21st century, but thinking and believing things in order to avoid addressing emotional repression has always been people's core addiction. It's just more amplified now because thanks to technology, we know what everybody's thinking all the time. So as a nod to the black belt sponsors in AA and how they deal with problem drinkers, today's short's going to be about how to deal with problem thinkers. First off, like I always talk about, you're going to have two types of problem thinkers because you're going to have two types of emotion repressors. Your hurt repressors are going to have built a story or an identity, which is to say they're going to have a lot of beliefs around a couple different things. I have to be strong or tough, I have to win, and I have to be big, right? Or avoid weakness at all costs. So we could call the hurt repressors problem thinking overcompensation. All of it happening unconsciously as a way, of course, to avoid their buried hurt or vulnerable emotions. Anger repressors are going to go in the opposite direction, so down or small, in order to avoid their big emotions and energies like anger, power, sexuality. And their identity, story, and or beliefs are going to be about, I have to be good, right? I have to be holy. I have to humble myself. I have to be kind and empathetic. And so we could call the anger repressors problem thinking undercompensation. So how to deal with each type? Well, first of all, if they want to resolve their emotional repression and suffering, then you can point them to the Kilby inquiries. If they don't want to, then just like a good sponsor in AA would encourage a problem drinker who's not done drinking yet to go drink, we can encourage a problem thinker to go think, right? And here's how for each type. If we're dealing with an overcompensating hurt repressor, instead of trying to get them to see reason or stay right-sized or be more nice or empathetic, encourage them as genuinely as you can to get bigger, right? To get tougher, to do whatever they can or have to do in order to avoid addressing their buried and repressed feelings. You can say things like, don't show weakness, don't be vulnerable, right? Toughen up. As counterintuitive as it might seem, you want to support their beliefs, right? And same thing with undercompensating anger repressors, except for instead of strong, tough, remember it's good, humble. You can say things like, you're such a good person. You know, you inspire me to do better. You're just so unassuming, and I love that. So at this point, you might ask, why are we doing this, right? Like, why are we supporting people in their suffering? I'll tell you why, because the suffering produced by emotional repression-driven beliefs does a better job at waking someone up than any other human being ever could. And as I said, look at the mechanics of how any alcoholic or drug addict starts to recover if you want proof of this. It happens on their time because they've finally suffered enough. Same thing here with emotional repression and the problem thinking that it produces. So do enough of your own emotional repression work to where you can set your boundaries and get out there and encourage people who don't want to stop suffering to suffer. If you'd like to learn more, tap the link.